Hello viewers, I'm Ron Grant coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the Virgin Islands. You're watching 284 Media. Thank you so much for your time. Dr. Arliene T. Penn is Mrs. British Virgin Islands Globe 2022. She is a 17-plus-year cervical cancer survivor who believes in authentic living, taking opportunities and inspiring hope, and doing her part, of course, to change lives one person at a time. She is a communications director who loves to write, read, praise, teach, write songs, play the steel pan, and listen to music. She loves parliamentary work and is the secretariat and chief debate coach for the Virgin Islands Youth Parliament. She is a mother and grandmother and is married to the Deputy Chief Fire Officer, Mr. William W. Penn. Now, Penn holds degrees in business administration, marketing, journalism, public and political communication, policy writing and analysis, public administration, leadership, and public sector development. She is a Toastmaster. She is also an ordained minister in the area of teaching, preaching, and leadership at the Cane Garden Bay Baptist Church. Additionally, she is a spokeswoman for the WIN BVI organization. Her platform is cervical cancer awareness. Penn believes that early detection saves lives. She is committed to sharing her talents with thousands of women and believes that together we will all win and transform the world, working shoulder to shoulder. Viewers, I am honored to be joined by the multi-talented Virgin Islander and reigning Mrs. British Virgin Islands Globe 2022. Of course, sharing her story, the lovely Dr. Arliene T. Penn. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What do you really? Hey, this ain't like you, you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I huff. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Viewers, welcome back and thank you so much for your time. As promised, I am joined by Dr. Arliene T. Penn. Dr. Penn, Mrs. British Virgin Islands Globe 2022. Thank you for your time. Welcome to our studios, and I must congratulate you on your recent single release.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you so much for having me. And it's a privilege just to be here, to just have this dialogue with you. So thank you.
Indeed, the pleasure is absolutely mine. As I mentioned, this weekend, you launched your single, Reclaiming Me, which has some very special meaning. Tell us about the event and the song.
Well, let me first take you back to Palm Springs, because there was a competition, the WIN Song of the Year competition, that I actually wrote a song for. And I placed first runner-up in that specific competition for the WIN Song of the Year. And we decided just yesterday we had the launch of the Reclaiming Me song, because we wanted to make sure that the public get an opportunity to hear the song and to understand the song and to just celebrate with us in this moment of me being the first runner-up. But then there was a big announcement that was made during that event by Dr. Tracy Kimball, and she is the head of the WIN Foundation. She's actually the founder of the WIN Foundation, and she made the announcement that my song, Reclaiming Me, was now the WIN Song of the Year, but for the Reclaiming Me category.
Wonderful.
So it was an exciting moment for all of us who were present, an exciting moment for the British Virgin Islands, because it said to me that, wow, it doesn't matter how small we are, we can make a big and huge impact and leave a huge footprint in the world. So it was just a moment yesterday that, you know, words sometimes just cannot explain and express.
I can imagine.
But I was elated by what I heard, and I'm pleased with the many persons who logged on, who viewed, who were present, to enjoy that moment with me. because it wasn't a win just for me, it was a win for the British Virgin Islands. This song, Reclaiming Me, for years I would have put down the pen in terms of writing songs because of time, because there were times I didn't feel that I was capable to write anymore, or I just didn't have the drive to do it.
Understood.
And when the song opportunity came forward, I did ask God from before, after I was crowned in April, I asked God to give me an opportunity to get to the Palm Springs pageant, because at that time, the Mrs. BVI 2021 would have been competing in that pageant, because the competition they would have had for the year before, it didn't happen. So their pageant was transferred to 2022. And I asked for a segue to be at that pageant. And it just come by way of song.
Wow.
And in writing the song, I had to do a lot of soul searching to get the lyrics. I went on the WIN Foundation's website. I researched and I used all of the words from all of the programs they offer. Because I believe if you want people to understand your organization, to learn more about it, what better way to do that than through song? But I took one word for myself, and that's elevated. Elevated is a theme that is the theme of my church, at the Cane Garden Bay Baptist Church, which means that you have to be elevated in your posture, your perspective, and your position. That means that you don't think normally. You think beyond. You think about tomorrow. You think in a way in which your spiritual self becomes your natural self. And I was able to just say, elevated, and in that song, I was able to learn so much about myself. So I was reclaiming me as I wrote the song. So I started to sing, reclaiming me. And the more I sang it, the more it became part of me. And I'm happy that I was able to share it with the rest of the world, to the WIN Foundation event that I performed in. It was the Feminine Boss Luncheon. And I performed to the best of what I thought was my ability. But when I looked back at the video, I performed beyond what I expected. And I remember being in that competition and I was told, hey, those girls who they can really blow, they can really blow. And I said, God, they can blow, but just give me the opportunity to not just minister, but just give me that anointing so that persons hear the message and not so much my voice. And I must say that we left Palm Springs in a good place, because we left with first runner-up at the WIN Song of the Year. And now, as of Sunday, yesterday, I am now the winner of the WIN Reclaiming Me Song of the Year.
Amazing. I thank you so much for sharing and giving that background. There are a few things that I got out of that. The most recent, of course, when you mentioned the word elevated, elevated the word not only with the Cane Garden Bay Baptist Church, but that word in of itself has become a Virgin Islands mantra, not only in branding, but living. So I appreciate that aspect in you taking that one word and using it. But when it comes to reclaiming me, I do believe that we as a territory are at a very pivotal point where we are essentially reclaiming who we are as Virgin Islanders and our trajectory moving forward. So I do think it is fitting. And then, of course, the icing on the cake for it to be selected as the Song of the Year. Kudos to you and kudos to your team. WIN BVI organization, for which you are a spokeswoman, has been saving lives, helping women all across the territory in a number of ways. Tell us about the organization and the many ways that you assist women across the Virgin Islands.
In a nutshell, the WIN BVI organization focuses on a lot of holistic well-being of women, just making sure that women are good internally, mentally, physically, socially, you name it. And the organization is there to make sure that women are able to move from where they are to where they need to be. So that's it in a nutshell. There are so many programs that are being offered, so many one-on-one hand holding that the organization do on a daily basis to help women to become their best selves.
Understood. Now, speaking of Mrs. BVI Globe 2022, you have a very special platform. Of course, in the introduction, persons would have remembered me saying that you were 17 plus years cervical cancer survivor. If you don't mind sharing a little bit about your personal story and how you even decided to select that platform.
Well, I didn't select the platform. I would say the platform selected me. And let's just say that 17 years ago, I was in the prime of my public life. And I was wearing the crown of BVI Calypso Queen. I was a single parent mother raising 2 sons. And it was a BNF Medical Complex that had an ad. And the ad said, come and get your pap smears done, and we're going to do the pap smears for free. And I went and I just did the pap smear for free because for me, I'm young anyway, so nothing could be wrong. Then the doctor called me and told me that I needed to come in and because they had found some abnormal cells in my cervix. And I did some in-office surgeries to help me, and the 3rd time that I actually went, we found out that it was cervical cancer. And I went to about 5 doctors because I didn't want to believe what was said to me. And the 5th doctor who I went to was Dr. Kedrick Pickering. He said, listen, he said, I'm not going to examine you. I'm going to tell you this. The cancer that you have is moving very aggressively and you need to get up out of here. You need to go and take care of yourself. And you need to do it for yourself and your boys. And I went and I took care of myself. And one of the decisions that I had to make was to do a radical hysterectomy. It meant that they would leave my ovaries intact, but they would have to take out the other parts because if I wanted to live, it was the only solution for me. For years, I would walk around in this community and I wouldn't even tell people that I was a cervical cancer survivor. I would tell people that I was a cancer survivor because you see, your reproductive system is a very difficult conversation to have.
Indeed.
Because your cervix or your reproductive system is seen as the prize and the pride of a woman, or even a man. And sometimes, if you think back on the word barren, people don't want to hear that word. So my platform is about, let's say I'm in 2 different situations. 1, I have children, and 2, I'm in a marriage and we do not have children. And I've decided that, you know, it's important for me to come out and say something, because when you read statistics from the World Health Organization that just in 2020, some 600,000 women were diagnosed with cervical cancer, and some 300,000 women died of cervical cancer. And I am alive and I'm living. I have a responsibility to do my part to help other women so that they understand that the early detection of cervical cancer, it saves lives. But you have to know now to fix early so that you can live life fearfully, beautifully, and wonderfully. And when you do all those 3 things, I believe that we can win together. And that's my message. And that's why I'm actually here. And that's why I'm passionate about what I am doing, because I believe that the more women make sure we get our pap smears done, at least get your first pap smear done so that you understand where you are, so that the doctors can help you. Because in the long run, it can help you financially as well, because the earlier you know, at least you know at the 0 stage or you know at the abnormal stage, so that you can get help at a very, very early stage and you can live just like I'm living.
Dr. Penn, I want to thank you so much for your authenticity and your honesty in sharing your story. And I smiled to myself when you mentioned that you would always say you're a cancer survivor, but not be specific, because in our territory, and I think by a larger extent outside of that too, we definitely have a stigma where persons are more willing to talk about certain types of cancers, not when it comes to, like you mentioned, the reproductive system. So thank you so much for your authenticity. I wish you the very best in the messaging and promoting of awareness for cervical cancer at 284 Media here. If we could do anything to assist you in that messaging of your platform, feel free to call us. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Now, you mentioned Calypso Queen when you were in the prime of your life. I have to tell you a story. It's a very honest story. Over the Festival Village, of course, our emancipation celebrations that we just celebrated, I was parking my vehicle in our parking lot here at the 284 Media Studios, and I got out of the vehicle. I heard your glorious voice singing Freedom from the stage of the Calypso review segment. And I smiled. I was so excited because it took me back to that moment, as you mentioned, when you were in the prime of your Calypso career. You're singing a different message now, and that is absolutely fine. That is absolutely okay. But I want you to know that we appreciate your talent. We appreciate your gift. And I appreciate the fact that despite your change in message, you have still been able to contribute culturally. You've still been able to contribute to talent and entertainment in the Virgin Islands with a more holistic and positive message. So kudos to you, and I thank you so much for still giving us and contributing your gift in that way.
Thank you so much. I think it was important for me to actually be present, because even though I would have sang the song in 2004, which is Freedom Calling. Actually, that's when I sang it in 2004. The same day I sang that song, that's when I learned that I had cancer. And I knew that it would have been the last time I would have been singing in the Calypso competition, because I knew that I had to go and get myself, well. And the message in the song, when you listen to it, and even in 2022, it's just so relevant. Because freedom is calling. It's calling for us to be free. And we have to understand that we are to work together. We are to live together. Because it's only when we work together, we move in the same direction together. And imagine I said that in 2004, and we're now in 2022. And I also sang Caribbean Woman, reminding women that even though that no matter where you are, God is your friend. So be proud. You take a stand because you're a strong Caribbean woman. And I just wanted to get those messages out. Now, the difference for me was when I sang those songs back in the day, it was a different feeling this time around, because the songs meant something totally different to me, because I felt that I was ministering the songs versus competing and singing the songs. And that's what was the big difference for me. I even ended up in the middle of one of the songs where I said hallelujah, because God has taken me from where I was to where I am today. And there's a personal relationship that I have with him. And I just want to thank God for just being in the midst of everything. Because of him, I'm actually still here today to share the message again with the rest of the world.
Most definitely. We thank you for sharing that story. I want to get some information out to the general public. First of all, Reclaiming Me. How can persons who are interested in purchasing or getting a copy of the single, how can they do that?
Okay, well, the song is actually available on Spotify, on Amazon, and also on iTunes. And persons can actually go to our WIN, the WIN BVI's Facebook page. There will be links that are placed there. And persons can actually call, let me look down to get that number, 440-4122. And persons can actually call that number and have access to the WIN BVI organization for all that information to get the wonderful song reclaiming me.
Beautiful. I want to thank you so much for coming to our studios. Thank you so much for your time. We wish you the very best. But before we go, what is next on the scene for Mrs. British Virgin Islands Globe 2022? What's next for you?
Well, right now I am preparing for the Mrs. Globe 2023 pageant international pageant in China.
Okay.
And that will take a lot of work. And I want to make this clear that my success is not just based on Dr. Arliene T. Penn. It is actually the entire Virgin Islands working with me as I get to China. Because one of the things I realized when I went to Palm Springs, the virtual voting, all of that, women are able to advance and advance to the higher positions because of the support they get from persons within their communities. I want that when BVI, when the Virgin Islands, my people see me, that they rally with me, they walk with me, that they push me, and they strengthen me along the way so that when I get on the stage in China, it is that. It is not just Dr. Arliene T. Penn or Mrs. British Virgin Islands on stage. It is Arliene, Dr. Arliene T. Penn, Mrs. British Virgin Islands Globe 2022, along there with backed by the people of the Virgin Islands. I just want people to understand that.
And we do rally around you, and I can guarantee you we will be supporting you on your journey. We wish you all the best. We thank you for your time, and continue sharing your story authentically, of course, as you always do. And thank you so much for sharing your gifts and talents with us throughout the years. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. Can I say just one more thing?
Absolutely.
Can we want persons to download the song, Reclaiming Me, because when you download the song, you're actually helping women who are in the Reclaiming Me program, because we want women to be able to move from where they are to where they need to be. And also, one of the things that was announced as well by the director of the WIN BVI, Mrs. Alicia Green, is that the program, the organization, will actually be now extended to men in need. So
Wow.
it's just more than women in need. It will be now men in need, because there are men who need support as well. So we want to work with the men as well, because again, we want to make sure the holistic health of all of the people of the Virgin Islands and across the globe and across the world.
That is terrific. Kudos to the WIN Foundation for now really spreading their wings and venturing out to supporting men as well. Viewers, that is all the time we have. We were joined by the lovely Dr. Arliene T. Penn, Mrs. British Virgin Islands Globe 2022, as she gears up for China, but also, of course, recently releasing her single Reclaiming Me, which you can get on Spotify and other platforms. In addition to that, supporting the WIN organization. I'm Ron Grant reporting for 284 Media. Have a beautiful rest of the day. Bye-bye.